Okay, are you guys ready for this update for the DCEU? This is pretty crazy stuff today. All right, there has been a lot of crap thrown out there all over the internet over the last 2 days, and I'm here to bring it all to you. So, is Superman back, or are they doing a reboot? We're going to cover all of that in this video. So I've got a number of things I want to show you. Now, let's talk about the smaller stuff first. And again, I'm going to show you guys everywhere I am getting my information from. So the first thing I want to talk about today is what Warner Brothers said about releasing Zack Snyder's Justice League. All right, so there's an article that was posted by Variety, and there have been a lot of quotes that have come out of this article just over the last day. It's been going everywhere where it says, Warner Brothers reportedly regrets releasing Zack Snyder's Justice League. Here's why. Warner Brothers executives have stated to completely deny the existence of the Snyder edit. Now, this was just posted, the article, this is just a precursor to the Variety article. Now, they made it sound like there was a specific article by Variety that was titled that they regret releasing Zack Snyder's Justice League, but that is not the case. There was an article that Variety actually posted yesterday with the title of From Batgirl Fallout to Rebooting Superman, All the Landmines Facing the Next DC Chief. Now, where all of the controversy comes from is at the very bottom of this article. They talk about a lot of stuff in here. They talk about the next Kevin. They talk about Dan Lin in here. They talk about the Batman. They talk about a lot of stuff dealing with the fallout from the Batgirl cancellation. You guys can read this article on your own. Variety has not been, a pretty good, really a Zack Snyder supporter at all. I don't believe the stuff that they post all of the time. This here is just pretty much what you call their own idea of the way things should go, or what they think should happen. Now, where this gets really crazy is here at the bottom. I'm going to read this part. Winning over the fans. Privately, studio insiders have lamented that Zack Snyder's Justice League never should have happened. Rather than quiet the unceasing online campaign to release the Snyder Cut, the 4-hour HBO Max feature only further entrenched the vocal and extremely online Snyderverse fan base, in opposition to the leadership at the studio in general and at DC in particular. Now, everybody is out there posting this as this movie further divided fans. That's what they said. All over the internet yesterday, and many, many different places reported this. The Variety reported that Warner Brothers regrets ever releasing it because it divided the fan base. That is not true. I don't think there is a single person out there that says that the theatrical version of Justice League was the version that everybody wanted. I don't think there's a single person you're going to find out there that says, yeah, that's the version we want to see. That's the one we love. No. Zack Snyder's Justice League fixed all the issues that were wrong with that movie, fixed everything, and now people want to see more of that. So if anything, they're upset that fans got what they wanted and that this is the version that everybody wants to see. What divided the fan base was more of Ann Sarnoff coming out the next day and shooting her mouth off saying, that this was a cul-de-sac, this is going nowhere. After you give us one of the greatest superhero films of all time, you're going to come out and talk crap like that? You want to talk about what's dividing the fans or makes them hate the studio? And ever since then, people have just really given up. I gave up on Warner Brothers. And this was before we knew that Warner Brothers was going to be bought by Discovery and that David Zaslav was going to come in. So let's talk about these Warner Brothers executives who are saying this privately behind the scenes. They are people that no longer work at Warner Brothers. What do they have to lose? So they're out there spouting their mouths, talking about all this hate and that the movie should have never come out, which is bullcrap. I guarantee you that the new regime at Warner Brothers Discovery, and you got to watch the way they talk about this. When they talk about Warner Brothers, that is not Warner Brothers Discovery. That is not the current regime. This is the old people, the old Warner Brothers. Yeah, and I do believe that the old Warner Brothers regrets ever releasing it, but not Warner Brothers Discovery. It looks like Warner Brothers Discovery is embracing what Zack Snyder did and embracing these fans the way they should have been embraced in the first place. So let's look at a few other things over here. So I woke up this morning to my Twitter account, and the Den of Nerds is one of the people that I follow. I watch some of his videos. He's more of a Marvel guy and a Star Wars person, and I'm a big Star Wars person too. I just don't report on it as often. But what's crazy here is he was reporting this morning. He shared a post by my least favorite person, Grace Randolph. So what she's hearing is saying, so I hear Marvel is open to casting Henry Cavill and are discussing some roles with him. At least one that I've heard of are. Okay, they might be talking to him, and I want to talk about something here, the way contracts work. Unless he has a no-compete clause in his contract, which means he can't work for a competitor, he is free to do as many roles as he wants. He could go out and be 007. He could continue to play in The Witcher. He could be Superman. He could also be a character in the Marvel Universe, as long as none of those contracts have a no-compete clause, okay? So he could be wherever he wants. So is this saying that he's not coming back as Superman? No, it does not. But they're trying to make it sound like he's jumping ship. Now, I will tell you that the absolute biggest mistake Warner Brothers Discovery could make would be letting Henry Cavill go. Now, 2 days ago, we had Sil Abdul come out and say that he has a big scoop about Superman, that the man is back. Quote from his source, and he's got a wink. And he goes on, he had many posts talking about this and how Superman is coming back. We're going to see Henry Cavill in Black Adam, and then after that, there's supposed to be a follow-up to Man of Steel with Zack Snyder coming back to direct direct Man of Steel 2. So we've got that story going on. Now, there's also some more Batman news, and this is very interesting. It says, Jason Momoa teases more Batmans in Aquaman 2, or maybe he doesn't. He was quoted the other day. You can see this article was just posted today. And this is interesting. It says, in an interview shared on the AP Entertainment Twitter page, Momoa was asked if Affleck would be part of the Aquatic sequel. Well, I can't tell you anything about the reunion. He, Affleck, may or may not be in it, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. And there could be more or less or even more Batmans in it, the star teased. Who knows? We can only know a little bit. This is another interesting quote by Jason Momoa. First of all, we already know Ben Affleck's back. He already talked about it and posted a picture about it. Now, that doesn't mean that they're erasing Michael Keaton. You know, we know there's some reshoots going on with The Flash and Aquaman 2. Zaslav has talked about this, and the actors have also posted on social media about it. So it's definitely happening. And there's nothing to say that we might not have Affleck and Michael Keaton together in the same universe, but they're definitely not getting rid of Michael Keaton because he's definitely in Aquaman 2 after the events of The Flash, and it looks like he's going to be here for quite a while. Hopefully, if this all rolls out, for the 10-year plan, we'll have Cavill, we'll have Affleck, and we'll have Gadot back in these roles long term. I have a lot of positive hope for the future. I don't think anything that I've seen over the next couple of days derails anything that's been going on. I do think Ben Affleck's back. I do think Henry Cavill's coming back. I don't think there's a full reboot going on. I think that would be suicide. The worst thing they could do is get Henry Cavill, to get rid of him at this stage. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Now, the last thing I want to talk about here is it looks like Legendary Films is being shopped around by Warner Brothers Discovery. This could be another way for them to recoup some money, and they might be selling Legendary Films, which was behind a lot of the DC stuff. Now, I don't see them getting rid of DC because they're talking about a DC 10-year plan, but that could mean a lot going on, with the Superman character and all the people associated with Legendary Films. Again, I think it would be foolish for Warner Brothers Discovery to get rid of that division and that movie studio because they're a big part in what has happened. So I still believe that Henry Cavill's coming back. I do know that Ben Affleck's back. That's been confirmed by many different sources. we're just going to see where this ends up. The big telltale here is going to be, or the big telltale is going to be Black Adam. If Henry Cavill's back in there as Superman, things are good. If he's not, or they reboot it, I think this is going to cause a lot of problems for Warner Brothers Discovery down the road, because they're sending a lot of mixed signals here, and they need to get things straight. And I think the big announcement is going to come with Black Adam. So we'll find out here in less than 2 months now. But as more information comes out, I will be carrying everything, so stick to my channel, and I will be doing the updates as this stuff gets released. I do appreciate the support. We'll see you guys on the next update.